Okay, continuing on with this fucking test. Let's see. I don't know what part of the test I would end at or would actually be at, and I would love for this to end, but there's still a while to go. So let's continue on. I think I had like a joke I was gonna make, but I don't even know what it was, and who gives a shit. So let's do this. Oh yeah, I am going to finish this damn test. I don't care if if a wizard appears in front of me and begins using an extra sketch, one of those things, and they begin to erase me out of existence. Some way, somehow, I'm finishing this godforsaken test. All right, let's get on with this. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. Disagree. I mean, should you make peace with the establishment to the extent that as long as they're being reasonable, it's part of life, you might not like everything about it, but, it's better than getting blown up or something and trying to stop it? Yeah. If you have a system or situation, for example, what was happening in the industrial era in England and in parts of America and possibly largely in America with the industrial complex and the industrial revolution, where you were working children for maybe 10 cents an hour in corporate factories, is what's happening. And it's had happened, it has been, it has happened for years. And even in the case of slavery, and you had obviously a lot of black people and other groups who fought against slavery, no, you shouldn't make peace with that establishment. It really largely depends upon your ideal or concept of what the fuck the establishment is. But with that being said, I disagree. Basically, no, I don't think you should make peace with the establishment. I think protesting, I think questioning, I think writing stuff, I think doing whatever the hell this is, making videos, vlogging, and voting is a very good thing, and you should do that. So do. So I disagree that you should not make peace with it. I do not think you should make peace with the establishment. Next page. If you got through that, okay, you're fine. Yeah, I got through it. If you got through that, you're okay. That's okay. Fine. These propositions on religion are breeze. Holy shit. Astrology accurately explains many things. That's kind of really my personal opinion. Yeah, I think astrology does explain some things. I know that that's not always, a lot of humanists would not agree with this. I think you can find things in the stars, signs in the stars. I should probably have read some astrology before making these fucking videos like what my chart is. God, it's fucking long. Let me catch my breath one time. Okay. Yes, I think you can find truth in astrology. Whatever. I agree. You cannot be moral without being religious. I strongly disagree. You can talk about circumcision. You can talk about opposition or opposing basic human LGBTQ rights. Religious countries right now, such as Saudi Arabia, that kill or execute LGBTQ people. Societies that execute other groups of people. Societies where they will cut off your hand for stealing something. These are not, again, literally off with your hand if you steal something. Now, I think they give you multiple times. I don't know all that goes into that, but still, that's a hell of a fucking excessive thing to do. I think it's reasonable to say those societies are not moral or ethical. I think, if anything, in some cases, ethics, religion leads to the lack of ethics or the opposite. Now, there are cases where it does, and I will even throw the movie Left Behind, where I was too busy kind of romancing with the bad guy in the movie because I thought he was, absolutely brilliant in some ways. But one of the more profound and intelligent things said in that, other than alcohol can basically cure the coronavirus, but I'm not going into that. Another thing said was that have you, I think I said this before actually, or rather, but have you stolen? Yes. Have you lied? Yes. So you're a lying thief who has committed adultery in your mind. They said that. So then you're not perfect, and no one's perfect. So I mean, that's kind of ethically profound, actually. Now, I don't think admitting your sin to a first century Jewish hippie cult leader is going to necessarily redeem you. But with that being said, it's a good ideal that, maybe you shouldn't go around with your head up your ass, snug, and thinking you're better than everyone else because you're not. But the point that I'm making is religion does help some people do good things. The what is it? Salvation Army. I think the one guy, Seven Nation Army, made a song. We thought that's what it was. But Salvation Army is an example of this, even though I do or have heard in some cases they don't help, for example, atheists. So if a person is an atheist, you're not going to help, say, an atheist mother or atheist parent who has children. You're not going to help feed, clothe them because that person is an atheist. That doesn't sound very Christ-like to me, but largely they do good. St. Jude does good things for children with cancer, things of that nature. So there are good things that religion leads people to do. I'm not saying there never is, because there is. But largely, no, I don't think you have to be religious to be ethical. I think that's stupid. Yeah. No, you do not have to be religious to be ethical. Okay, you cannot be moral without being religious. I strongly disagree. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the general disadvantaged. Should you be charitable? Yes. But, we pay taxes, and we are paying taxes, we like it or not, into the government. Basically, what you're saying is we should give money to the military, money to the police. Again, we can't defund the police. We can't cut military spending, even though, as Bill Hicks once famously said, there is no one out there who is a threat to us. We can't cut military spending. We can't defund the police. We can't do anything like that. And, of course, you're spending a lot of this money on bailing out corporations and banks and stimulus checks that largely go only to the corporations and banks, and you're providing tax cuts to the upper class and to the 1% while not giving anything to the bottom 99%, and then particularly and specifically to the bottom, I don't know, 50% or whatever the hell of people, in many cases, who are not even middle class, trying to live and make a living and survive and get through this, and many of them now having problems, at least the last time I checked, paying rent or making basic rent payments. So while you're saying basically it's okay then, I suppose, or I guess, to not help them, we can allow charity, and I guess specifically you're saying church charity, to do that. We're not going to hold these banks and corporations responsible, because that is what you're doing, whether you want to accept this or not. But we do pay taxes to these corporations. We have for generations, and then we paid into Social Security. So what you're saying is you and your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents paid into Social Security for generations, and you must remember, men, as unfair as this is, and an example of gender bias against men, so much for male privilege, feminists, I guess, but as much as we pay into, we have to actually sign up for the military draft to get Social Security, or to be able to vote, by the way, women don't. But you're saying all of that is water on the bridge, throw that under the bus. No, we're not going to you make this government pay for Social Security, pay for food stamps, pay for welfare, pay for health care, pay for these things. What we're actually, or universal basic income now, and a number of other things, assistance to the homeless, assistance to homeless veterans and wounded veterans, wounded warriors, whatever. No, what we're going to do is actually we're going to use church charity. No, that's bullshit. If you want to pay into charity to help poor people, if you don't think the government is accurately accessing those people or assisting those people, and in many cases they're not, then that's fine. But you should certainly depend on the government for money, not you to pay in money while you're paying taxes to the government. That's fucking absurd. What are you gonna do? You're gonna goddamn pay a corporation. You're gonna pay basically the American government to prop and fund the education system that I have bitched about in one of these videos, where ultimately they're teaching your daughter how to get knocked up. You're knocking up your daughter, and they're teaching your son how to make crystal meth in woodshop. You're going to fund them. You're funding them to send your kid back to school during a disease pandemic, but you're not going to goddamn fund to house, shelter, clothe homeless people who are still, in many cases, probably trying to pay off student loan debt they can never pay off, because you're never going to let them go to college or actually have a future anyways. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's a fuck job and it's a scam. Just saying. So no, I don't think charity is better. Some people are naturally unlucky. All of the social and economic consequences it's going to have, and ramifications this could mean, let me just say, while my life is a standing refutation of this, I don't believe some people are just naturally unlucky. I think some people have lots of issues and disabilities, and I also think some people, in many cases, possibly myself, are just kind of fucked by a lot of you. But no, I don't believe some people are just naturally unlucky. It is more important that my child's school instills religious values. Strongly disagree. Those religious values would be to what? The value to mutilate your kid's cock is they have, even now still in some cases, and I think they did when I went to school, although I don't know how much they talked about it. I actually probably oddly missed some of the sex ed on that or whatever it was. But no, I don't think what is those religious values? Trying to lie to your kid that there's medical benefits to cutting off part of your kid's dick, their kid's dick when they're born. No, I don't think that's a religious value. The religious value of homosexuality is not natural. Not teaching sex ed, sexual education, teaching people how to have safe sex, use protection, not get knocked up at fucking 15. How teaching people that abortion is murder, that when it's not murder in the majority of cases. Teaching people that you should do what? What is the religious value? What religious value would you like to be taught? Because I can read to you a lot of values like helping the poor and helping the lower class and the lower income class and building up and helping pull up the underclass. I can read that to you out of the Communist Manifesto and from Karl Marx if you want. But that doesn't mean even Friedrich Nietzsche talks about will of power, strength of will, strong will, and religion is nonsense, actually, by the way. I think all of those are good values. Do you want to read from that? You can read good values from John Lennon. You can read good values from, leave other people alone if they're not harming you, basically. Aleister Crowley, if it harms none, do what thou will, let that be the law of the age of Thelema, the era of Thelema that we should be entering, but aren't because of corporate bullshit. And also the incompetence of many of you. But with that being said, I will say this. Also, you could also read good values from and perhaps you will, and perhaps you would, if you don't declare it antichrist, like I don't know, my pet goat, like Bush or not, or maybe a drag queen will read a book and you'll say it's bad. But the Three Little Pigs, Humpty Dumpty, you can read values into anything. Cinderella, Snow White, there's values. That doesn't mean, goddamn it, that should be set up in your school curriculum. But hey, read from those books. Why does it have to be your Bible? Kind of bullshit, isn't it? And is it from that, or is it from other pamphlets and literature from religious extremists like John Hagee? And what's next, Bin Laden? Where does it end? So no. Moving forward. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. I strongly disagree. Again, I've not had sex in so long. I don't care about having it. The only time I can get turned on by a woman is actually if I see them on my computer screen. Keep it down. Breath. I'm out of breath in this ungodly long test. And that, look, I don't personally have sex. I don't like sex. If someone else wants to go out and have sex, fine. I would just say, you know what, use a condom and don't have kids you can't take care of. That's the main issue and affect the environment. There's 7.4 trillion people in the world, or at least there was before this pandemic or coronavirus, but I'm sure there's still a lot of people dying from this shit. So with that being said, I would argue or say, if you want to fuck, but, wrap it up. Put your PP in a TP. And also, if you're a guy, unless you want to be paying child support for the next 18 years, and see how much that education really helps you, that you care so much about, I would suggest rounding it out. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child. Yeah, I strongly agree. I don't care if you're a same-sex couple. If you want to adopt a child, you should have every right, especially if you're pro-life, by the way, or you are against abortion. You want to limit some of these abortions. And some of these abortions should probably be limited or even illegal, depending upon what kind of abortion it is. Again, I don't support partial birth abortion either. But if you want to limit abortion, whatever it is, and the best way to do that is to adopt a child, whether you're a same-sex couple or not. But of course, these straight people, they don't want to adopt children. So then when you have a loving same-sex couple, gay couple, lesbian couple, whatever they are, a transgender woman perhaps with her spouse, whatever the scenario is, perhaps she marries a guy, whatever, or a woman, whatever, she's under the change, she's had a sex change. A transgender woman, for example, a transgender woman cannot have children. You don't want them to adopt children. So what does that mean? More abortions. And if not more abortions, because you want to make that illegal, then what? More people in the system, more in orphanages, more in foster care, foster homes you can't take care of. So you don't want to take care of these children. And there's lots of other examples of ways you don't want to take care of these children that I could go into all day, and I have talked about, but I'm not going to. But then you say you're against abortion. No, if a same-sex couple wants to adopt a kid, let them. Okay, so. Oh my God, I'm almost at the end. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for, yeah, I strongly agree, I need to make sure I'm doing these right. Yeah. If you want to make a porno, watch a porno, that's the only sex I have anymore is with myself watching someone else. But if you want to watch that, go ahead, have fun, enjoy yourself. It's up to you, good for you. No fucking shit to me. What do I give a fuck? Do what you want. And that should be ultimately totally be legal. And I don't care if you're saying that's degrading to women. No, it's not. People fuck, women fuck. You're basically saying a woman's nature is degrading. So what are you but a misogynist if you're saying that? And a lot of them are banging other chicks too, by the way. So I don't know what you're talking about. So, strongly agree porn should be legal. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. I strongly agree. I don't care if you're being gay. I don't care if you're being kinky in some other way. I don't care what you do as long as it's a consenting adult of 18 years of age and it's a human. Do whatever the fuck you want. No one can feel naturally homosexual. I disagree with that. Granted, I'm somewhat bisexual, and a lot of that has been largely, I mean, I don't want to say learned, but I wasn't initially. But I mean, over the years, I just developed interest, or it's a learned interest for me, but not for a lot of people. A lot of people have no interest in women. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stick them in a relationship, in a marriage with a woman that they have no sexual interest in, and you're going to expect that marriage to work? And then what does that do to the children, to other people? That's going to be a failed marriage, and you're going to have a person forced to live in a situation where his life and his entire life is a charade and a scam and a lie. Does that help him, you, yourself, or anyone? No. So fuck that. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I strongly disagree. I don't think it's went far enough. If you opened it up even more, you would probably come to the conclusion a lot of the shit and the problems we have with sexual misunderstanding and sexual issues in America actually comes from the closed-mindedness of the situation, and it actually has done very little, if any, good to try to do that. It doesn't really help anyone. So let's see where I stand. I'm not reading all of this. Fuck am I? My political compass, left libertarian. I am the bottom green box. Basically, I'm in the middle. I'm on left libertarian. I'm basically a left libertarian, a moderate left libertarian, meaning I'm not an anarchist. I probably am not as libertarian as I could be. I might not even be as left as I could be, but I'm certainly far left of the right, and I'm not now authoritarian. Now left authoritarian, obviously, not a right authoritarian, obviously, and I'm not a libertarian. I am a left, whatever the fuck. Let's see. They give you an example of people that you share this with, and maybe not. Oh, bullshit. I don't know. Your personal life, during 77, talking cock units. And that's about it. All of that for that. Basically, I'm a social democrat, no humanist, what I knew already, but at least it gave me some content to create, although too much, but whatever. P666, as much as all of these videos suck, I tried. P666.